All right, folks, and welcome. What we want to do is there's a lot of ways, and we talk about this in train and trade about anywhere from 25 cents to $5, depending on the strategy or whatever you're using. And I love the 25 centers because those are the huge gains. But let's go through this, and I'll answer any questions at the end of it. Thank you for being here, and we just really got you ready to go. Thanks, Buck, for saying that. Buck says he likes what we're doing today. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, folks. Chance to trade the 25 mid-year market pivot using the same method seen light and fast. Doubles, even triples. You know, there's mandatory disclosure. Profits and performance shown are not typical. Any individual subscriber make no future earning claims. And you can lose money. From March 28, 2024, July 21st, 2025 on live trade alerts, 62 total trade alerts with 41 wins, 21 losses. The average trades we run and winners losers found was 2%. We can't guarantee any specific future results as there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. See our terms on the DTI homepage. Now, take a good look at that quarter. It might just be the most powerful trading tool in the entire market if you have the right timing. You see, what most folks are paying $500 or $1,000 or even more to trade popular stocks like Apple, Nvidia, or Microsoft. I've discovered a way to tap into what could be the cheapest options on the market. This is what I love about it. Love, love, love. Trade only costs 25 cents an option. And by entering on certain predetermined dates, we've been able to watch as these 25-cent trades doubled or even tripled what feels like no time. Like the quick double in November, 104% gain there, 182% gain in January, tripled in there in March, 214%. Telling you, you're going to love it. Now, I don't like to brag. I like to be confident, but this is hardly my first rodeo. In 1992, I was one of the only 50 professionals to be handpicked by the CME to receive my own Globex terminal, the front runner to electronic trading. Those were the days. And I even helped manage firms so successfully, it was eventually bought out by the 1.3 trillion institution, Morgan Stanley. And while I've been very selective about who gets access to these 25-cent trade alerts, our students have access to these 25-cent trades and are raving about them when they set up. Like John. I love the 25-cent trades for someone with a small account. Love the fact that I can trade more than a couple contracts. Makes it feel like Mr. Big. Or Jim T. Loves making money with the 25-cent trades. Did 400% on one. That's 5 times the original investment. Oh, Carlos May. These are hot little trades. Now, if you're trying to guess specific opportunity behind the 25-cent trades, hang tight for just a moment, because we're not talking about trading penny stocks. We're talking about big companies, public companies, and setups. We're not talking about risky earnings plays. Think about the people that got killed yesterday in Amazon. And certainly we're not talking about trading complex spreads, naked options, or anything like that. That's the beauty of it. As a matter of fact, each and every trade example was here today could have been taken any regular brokerage account. No specific heavy-duty lifting there. Trading most basic form of call options available, as long as the 25-cent trade is set the day before one of these predetermined dates. 5 big reports every month, and that's when the magic happens. And today I'm doing something that we actually never thought we'd actually do. You know, usually most people like me would never trade these options so cheap, but I figured out a strategy that works at selected times. And that's because these type of speculative options typically lose money for investors. But thanks to the recent discovery, led by myself and the help of 3 financial experts on my team, my whole perspective shifted 180 degrees. That's because I only trade these 25-cent options on very specific predetermined dates. Shot to jump in and really hit good. 78.3% hit rate according to the full back test. For example, like back in January. Now, if you're looking at the chart, the S&P 500 was roaring higher. I remember it. By mid-January, at new highs, and folks were left guessing if the breakout would continue or would make a natural pullback. Now you could spend your whole time drawing all these chart patterns, calculating Fibonacci's, reading through endless inflation reports, or trying to guess what would come next. But on January 10th, none of that really mattered, because January 10th was a predetermined date marked down on the calendar. That's the beauty of this. You can plan this out. And as long as someone took 30 seconds to place a trade before the markets closed, a basic call option would work. 194% on that. Now, as great as that is, it gets even better, because the next day, on January 11th, was marked on the calendar too, 23% on that one. And here's what came next, 264% gain. This already gets your attention. That could have been enough to triple the investment on one trade. It wouldn't cost folks hardly anything to get in on the play. Say you start with a small $500 investment on 25-cent trades, you would have had $22.93 in profit. Might not sound like life-changing, but it sure is good, and it's something to go to. That's definitely no chump change either. As a matter of fact, the average Joe only brings in about $6,700 a month. That's pre-tax. Average monthly expenses for American families are hitting $8,454. It doesn't get any lower. And according to these statistics, the average American household starts each month minus $1,746 in the hole. Don't want to be that. Most people are sliding backwards financially. Here's two gains here, 194 and 264. You see they're huge percentage gains. That's the beautiful thing about scaling this. 22.93 in profit, just two of the trades that month. Keep in mind that we've seen 3 times the amount of opportunities in January, 4-digit wins there. Look at those gains. Wow. And now you're probably wondering what exactly is going on. What are these predetermined dates that allows this kind of movement? Well, finer details on how these 25-cent trades work in just a moment. Plus a handful of you be able to grab. This is what's great. Having this calendar in advance. All the predetermined dates are set to pay out big, and we'll reveal a top secret bonus trade that costs even less than 25 cents. Before we get there, I must be frank. Hey, I'm not typically a swing for the fences type guy. That's because, as you know, as I showed you, all trades have winners and losers, and typically even the best swing for the fences strategies out there take the biggest and most frequent losses. Now, if you know me, I don't like big risk. That's why I built my career focused on high actually opportunities day in and day out with my usual approach, targeting, just like yesterday, 10 or 20% per trade. And now that I've helped some top students reach jaw-dropping goals from my various research programs, here's some of the best stories. 135 by Manny O at his 5th win in trading. Or Laura, 2,200 in profit, using some of the most basic things she's learned. Denise said she's had nothing but winning trades. Way to go, Denise. Up until now, shooting for 10, 20 profits over and over again. Incredibly high win rate has been my bread and butter. But today I'm finally pulling back the curtain for a very different style of trading. Thanks to these predetermined dates, there's 5 of it in a month. Then you add in the Fed, get a few extra, while at the same time giving us unlimited upside on these short-term moves. Combination of win rate plus upside is in our back test showing the power to scale even a small account quicker than anything else I've seen before. And simply by following along with these predetermined dates listed on the calendar right there, these 25-cent trades have a chance to double, even triple extremely fast. For example, like the very next 25-cent trade opportunity in January, while most people were probably searching the internet to see some expert opinions on what the stock market would do next, anyone with their hands on the calendar could have ignored all that nonsense and glanced at January 17th predetermined date circled. That's what's the beauty of it. You plan your month. Click a few buttons in the account, set your trade, 101.8% gain on that one. This is not hard work, but you have to know the strategy and the times in the month when they set up. Just check the calendar, place the trade, as long as the trade was entered on the date listed on your calendar before the market's closed. You completely ignored what other people are doing. You're out there, tuned out the herd, just relaxed and enjoyed your life. Hey, there I am throwing a little football with my grand. Or going golfing in the evening. If everything worked out, watch the initial investment more than double 24 hours. In this case, $2,500 on that one would have turned into a $5,000 profit. Now, I keep talking about these predetermined days and how they give you the exact minute to get in and lock in what could be the double, even, triple on these reports. Well, it's definitely what we're aiming for. I want to remind folks, we don't have a magic 8 ball. We can't predict the future. Just like with any strategy, there will be winners and there will be losers. So never bet the farm. That said, there's a reason I tell my students to only take 25-cent trades on these specific dates. Take a look at that eye-opening graph. This is when the movement comes and the explosion happens on these reports. Looking at S&P percentage movement every day for the past 10 years, plotted on the chart. Notice that chart. Each individual dot represents a single day. Now, between the two lines is the number of days where the S&P moved less than 1%. The majority of days, that's when you're going to lose. But when it moves outside those lines, most likely time for it to happen is on these big reports. That's when you're at. As you can see from a quick look, the stock market is flat about 70% of the time. And that's because most of the time, S&P 500 is not a ton of market movement action. That means every 7 out of 10 trading days, the market's stagnant, options are eating time decay, and you're paying for it. Mercantile says 70.6.5% of options expire worthless. And now that if you've been trading or investing for a while now and have struggled to make consistent profits, this might be the reason. Or if you watch the markets go higher and higher all while your retirement account barely budged an inch, not because you're a bad trader, you just simply don't have the right information. The problem is the majority of the time, the stock market barely moves. And that's what crushes most trading accounts. However, if you pay attention to this chart, you unlock this gold mine that I've discovered. You strike, and as soon as you'll see these dates when some of the biggest moves in the stock market are not random at all. In fact, they're all predetermined weeks in advance on a calendar just like this one. And on these predetermined dates, we've seen these inexpensive, dirt cheap options double, even triple, sometimes overnight. Just like in February, the biggest payday we've seen so far from 25-cent trade. And keep in mind, in February, most of us are still holding their breath, waiting for the Fed to cut interest rates, still holding that breath. That's because for months Wall Street's been baking in interest rate cut. But the Fed had other plans. Typically, that news would make you want to sell your stock when they don't act. But then when it had the calendar, February 21st date circled, you would have been able to take this strategy to the bank. Because sure enough, the very next day, 391% gain. Take a look at that one. Now again, that's the biggest one we've seen so far from study. I'll remind you that no strategy is perfect. There's going to be big wins, small wins, and losers along the way. That's just how trading works. But today we're going to hold nothing back. We'll share with you every detail behind the back test we ran. The 25-cent trader immediately gets started on it because Wall Street thinks that monumental place. We found this strategy, this nice place that we can go to and become even more reliable than ever before. In a minute, I'll share exactly what I'm doing. But first, let me explain what's really going on. Every month, there's a handful of key reports published by the U.S. government that can move the market. Probably heard of them. Unemployment, we had that today. The next up on the agenda is CPI and PPI, then GDP, PCE, all that. And then if you have a Fed meeting, that's icing on the cake. Now, these reports are typically published in the morning before the opening bell. And as I'll show you, they're set up the most lucrative trading days we've seen all year long. Take a look at this 25-cent trade one day before these market moving reports hit the press. In the blink of an eye, just like that. Sometimes you get a double, triple on these reports. Take a look at the next 25-cent trade from the study market on February 28th. Paid 21 cents for that one. Got in at a discount, didn't we? That next morning at 8:30, just before the stock market was opening for a day, the jobless claims report was published. And by the time the opening bell rang, the S&P immediately shot higher, and 5,000 in shares would have pocketed a nice 550 overnight. But if you took a 25-cent trade with the same starting state, look what you'd have made, $2,381 on the same direction, just using a smarter way to approach it with options. about 16 times better than buying the shares outright, and only 1/20th the cost per position. And based on what our beta testers have said, and even people that have been issued these trades, it doesn't seem challenging at all to take it. Like Tina and Peggy, who wrote the 25-cent trades, they love them, easy to get into, easy to get out to. You know when you're going to be out, have the money for other trades ready and available. Or Tim, who wrote in 25-cent options, low risk, but highly profitable trade, easy to understand. Let me show you another example. Same exact case with the next setup marked on the calendar, March the 6th. On March the 6th, folks didn't have much confidence in the stock market. The S&P 500, NASDAQ were all losing steam, falling north of 1% in a day. Sure, a lot of folks would have still cleared of the stock market on a day like that. Hey, I'm unlike a lot of people. All you had to do was set the 25-cent trade on that day that the calendar so identified, and that would have gotten folks in the U.S. government published their newest jobless claims report the next morning, maybe grabbed a dinner with an old friend or relative. By the time the opening bell rang, pop, 134.7. Pretty cool. Now, we typically get a handful of these major economic reports each month. Each one presents a trading opportunity. The criteria that we've come up with works. In fact, these dates are so powerful they make up almost all the opportunities in the stock market. You're going to be shocked when you see this chart. Look at that chart right there. Most people know the S&P 500 is in a new bull market, an extremely hot run. But most people don't realize is, if you highlight these major economic report dates I've been talking about all day long, go where the action is. Let's remove those from market moving days. Chart becomes totally dismantled, going from unstoppable bull market to sideways action. Nothing. And as you can see, trading outside these predetermined dates is a dangerous time and a fast track losing money by buying options. If you're trading options, and by only isolating these explosive dates, that's where the money's made. And that's why I've developed a special calendar with all these dates mapped out in advance. You know when they are, you know when they setup comes, plus critical instruction on how to set the trades for optimum results. Be part of this program today and have total access to the whole world of trading small price options. And then all left to do, take a quick trade on dates shown if you want to, like this one here on July the 26th, a 54% gain, December 20th, 152% gain, or May 24th, a 334% gain. Oh, it's fun. That's $10,000, $867.50 in less than 24 hours. Now, can't retire on money with that kind of money. It would definitely be a nice buffer to pay off maybe a car loan, plan a next vacation, or just save for a rainy day. There's some serious financial cost here. You saw the way they're rising. It could have been listed in 24 hours. I have to admit, after seeing the power of these predetermined dates on the chart, you ought to see it too. That's where the action is. Almost seems foolish to trade any other way when you're playing this strategy. But now you might be wondering, can you go ahead and pick any option every time one of these dates pop up? Of course not, folks. If it were that easy, everyone would be doing it. You got to have all the pieces of the pie. My team has developed a very strict set of criteria to give you an edge on these market moving days. We filter out a lot of information, the week's open, the month's high, average trading range. Then we sort through the options to find the optimum expiration strike price, always around 25 cents per option. And then we set the trade with outline profit targets, stop loss levels ready to go. We do all the heavy lifting, and we take care of setting it up for you, teeing it up for you. All you got to do is take the trade. Actually, following along with the trade is no more difficult than riding the bike, using basic call or put options to access that direction, access it in your regular broker account, 401k or IRA. And I simply can't keep these 25-cent trades quiet any longer. Learn how to do it. Especially as we see huge market movement events multiplying before our very eyes. So from the private trade alerts for Basus, we're actually outperforming testing so far. Monica wrote, She loves the 25-cent option plays. They're affordable, quick to produce, and usually give you 100% of profit. That's the goal. You're having big hits here. Like Doug, 400% gain on his, high reward, low cost of entry. Or David, here's another one. Pretty accurate, quick, clean rewards. These are incredible stories. I can't wait to hear from the new traders like you to join today. See, there's a giant shift on Wall Street I firmly believe will make these opportunities more lucrative, and you really can't afford to miss this time around. First, if you'd like to be on the next 25-cent trade, plus access your copy of the password-protected calendar with all the dates listed, let me hear from you this very minute if you're serious about doing it. Today, you could be on a few people that we're going to let into explosive 25-cent trades. Each, when they set up, we call it the 25-cent trader. Only place in the world I know that focuses on this segment of the option market, shooting for the next double or even triple. Once you claim the discounted spots, we've identified you. You're ready to go. You get in the channel, you're ready to go. Then we look at the next day. We're ready to rock. We're ready to roll all day long. And the same trades I'd recommend to anybody that wants to do this strategy. Inside the alert, you get everything I believe you need to place to trade. You see the date that it's identified. It talks about the report, when to get in, when to get out, the ticker that we're going to use, the analysis that got us here, plus the 25-cent option criteria. All you do is copy trade, have a shot at what could be the next great win. 180% gain, like January 31st, or 2,500 on this one. Yeah, $4,500 overnight. That'll make you smile. Now, you get your exit alert as well when we close out. That way you're never left in the dark. And make sure that you always get instant access to Signal. I'll be sending you alerts via email, cell phone, and telegram. 3 ways to make sure you get the trade. Now, whether you're at the beach with friends, out playing a little golf, talking at a seminar, you'll never miss out. You just want to place a trade before the market closes. That's the key, and then you're all set before that report. That brings me to the next piece of your membership. System is designed with very specific entry prices, stop losses, and profit targets. Always going for optimum gains while avoiding holding on to losers for too long. That's a big benefit. Come back to play again. I call it automatic exit plan with the 25-cent options. That way you set the trade, walk away to enjoy whatever you want to do, and even include exclusive information on automatically how to reduce your risk. But not just that. I know some of you might be new to trading. This is a great way to have some big gains to talk about. First of all, I want to rest assured that in the 25-cent trader, we use the most basic form of options available. I usually don't use spreads, condors, or nothing like that. It's a straight out, let's get it. That said, I'm including a special training. I'll teach you options all the way from the rookie level to pro level in case we want to use it. The course is called Options Made Simple, a course that we put together over about 6 to 8 months. It's the best course I know out there with strategies, how to tie the strategies to whatever is happening in the market. We give it to you as part of your subscription. There's a reason I included in-depth training. Since the 2020 pandemic, we've seen these major economic reports only more and more impactful, especially the higher you go. You see that, with the higher you go, you get more bang for your buck. And these predetermined dates have only gotten more powerful as time goes on. Well, I think Wall Street's got it figured out. That's why you're seeing them leverage short-dated options at a rate like any other time in history. And now most folks have no clue how to use their highly leveraged options. I'll show you how. And I'll show you how we can plan to use them to target doubles, even triples on these predetermined dates. Especially if folks have already seen the 25-cent at work. You become a believer real quick. Like Rhonda, 25-cent options and small account friendly, risk small, great reward. Or Bruce, 25-cent trade, less than 24 hours to see results. Fun to take a trade. Love the wins, keep it coming. According to Sue. You could charge anything you wanted to for this kind of membership. It's very detailed from that standpoint. The work is done for you. It's teed up for you. And you have to pass or say, I'm taking it. So what are we thinking on the price for elite membership? They want to go high, $69.97 per year. With the potential, it's there. Let's do something fun and cut the price in half to $34.97. Since we're live, I like to make things a lot more palatable when I'm live. It gets even better. Here's some special bonuses lined up for new members. Join the Lifetime Elite Member Discount. Do it today. That's bonus number one. Lifetime Elite membership for anybody that wants to take it right here in the room. I'll knock off $1,000 off the price of the membership. So $34 for 1 year is a heck of a deal, but $24.97 for life is a steal. Drop that link, boys and girls. Drop that link. If you're one of our elite members here today, it won't run you $24.97. That brings me to my final bonus. Hit the ground running faster than you ever could imagine. $25 per maximum on these options. Or to get up on your feet, start a lap ahead of everybody else. Your first 50's on me, cuts the price down $1,250 more. This is lifetime. That's right, lifetime. $1,247. One price, and you're in for life. This deal is only good for members who jump in right now while I'm live. We're going to take it down. If you wait too long, you'll be outside looking in and pass that first trade that we're going to do. You read my emails about the epic results we're getting with new members. Do not procrastinate. Never procrastinate. Take one of the discounted memberships for yourself. Go to dtitrader.com/25cents, or you can call 904-706-3532 if you got any questions. Click the link in the chat. There it is. Special surprise for those that join today. dtitrader.com/25cents. Or you, like I said, you can call 904-706-3532. Again, $1,247 lifetime deal for elite members today. It's ready to go. It's ready to fly. Let's do it. Hey, I've done it, and I have to admit, it's pretty special to be a 25-cent trader. There's one I did right there. Got in at $27.49 just to show somebody I was demonstrating how powerful they are. We're from 1166 overnight on that one. Starting right now, jump in. Don't wait. It's very, very weak. Don't miss a new trade this week. Go to dtitrader.com/25cents, or like I said, you can call. This is a lifetime membership. I want to do that. VIP, get on the same experience that some of our students have had. They love how quickly they work. 4x times 25, you can do the math yourself, according to what Dave said. Patrick loves these trades for a small account. 25-cent trades. Hey, this is pretty good stuff here. As Brian said, many more stories just like those. Go ahead and grab your 25-cent VIP trader, dtitrader.com/25cents. Got any questions, ask them now. I'll answer them. Ask questions about when we do it and how we do it. Every day you got a live room you can go to and ask about questions, the trades that we did, what happened and all that. Hey, let's answer some common questions. Question on how much money is it? Well, the trades are down at 25, the price of 25 cents for an option. Being able to pick those takes something special. $25 a contract. No strategy wins 100% of the time, though. You've got to be aware. But according to our test and the work we've done, be part of it. Profitable those that stick to the discipline. We can play the market either up or down. That's the beauty of it. And you're not holding long periods of time. You get your money back after about 72 hours. Can you trade this in IRA? Of course you can. It's retirement account friendly. Now what's the next one? Hey, you'll get that information when you join. Go to your membership, read the master classes. The 25-cent options are so explosive. Don't miss the next trade next week. Go to dtitrader.com/25cents, or you can call and get questions answered. Folks, you will find at 25 cents an option, you really get to have nerves of steel. It really, I've seen people do really well when they only got $25 exposed or a multiple thereof. Something about it. Hey, 10 contracts is only $250, right? Okay, there you go. Playing with the big boy. So folks, this is what we're going to do. I want you to get by. Anybody got any questions at all? We've been here all day with you today. I hope you take me up on this lifetime opportunity in the 25-cent trader. I think you're going to find you made a good decision, number one. And I remember in August, I was driving back from Georgia, okay? And when I was driving back from Georgia, I had an option I paid 25 cents for. The sucker was $4.50 on the road. I remember going down the highway thinking, I need to pull over and take some profit on this sucker. Anyway, what size account do you need? Man, 2,000 is plenty. Think about how many options you can buy at 25 cents for 2,000 if you really press the bet. That's pretty good. How long do you stay in the trade? No more than 72 hours. No more. Win, lose, or draw. No more. If you know how to put in a call option, you know how to put in a put option, very simple when these set up. And you got the calendar to know those dates in advance. I'll be right there with you to go through it with you to make sure you get it, get you in, get you out, and do it. If you're new to trading, will it work for you? Absolutely, it will work for you. Matter of fact, it's a great way to take a small account and grow it. 25 cents, that's not much, but I like it. You know, I wanted to do this because I typically will, you know, my favorite price option is about 3. I like $1 options with spreads and that kind of stuff, but 25-cent option, come on. Learning my technique, you've got the odds in your favor. I guess that's the best statement I can make about getting those odds in your favor. You saw what happened when you get that movement. If you get that movement, that's when you rack up. And the movement happens during usually one of those big reports, like we had today. If there's someone, if needs help, is there someone standing by to help you? Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't leave you hanging. If you need help, we'll show you how it works. Pretty cool stuff, though, I can tell you that. You know? Any other questions? I know one thing. I think I might do one today, especially with what happened, okay? In this market kicking the month. Let's look. It's a good time to do one. What do you think? Let's do one. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. And if you need help with the trade, I'll help you. I want to say, see you later on today. I'm here all day. What a start to the month. Avoid all this pain and suffering, right? Love it. And Amazon keeps going lower and lower and lower. I love that too, I'm sure. All right, y'all have a good day. See you on the flip side.